Alright, the day has finally come. The Black Ops 7 beta. I put in roughly around 10 to 15 hours of gameplay. So I'm gonna just share my thoughts on what I think about BO7 and where they can improve, or the things they went right, things they didn't go right, all that stuff. And just a disclaimer, this is just the first 3 days of the beta. Their level cap is at 20. It's probably gonna hit 30. When the open beta drops, they're gonna have access to one of the new guns. They're probably gonna release one more new map, one more new mode. But those are just minimal additions that they're gonna be adding later into the beta. But since I've gotten 3 full days of playing the game, I think I can fully justify my opinions of Black Ops 7 and how the game feels, how the game runs, and just my overall first impressions. So let's get started. So with the gunplay. The gunplay in BO7, it feels fluid. I'm not gonna hold you. It feels like the time to kill in Black Ops 7 is just a bit faster than Black Ops 6, in which I don't mind, to be honest. I feel like Black Ops 6's time to kill, it wasn't bad at all. I actually prefer Black Ops 6's time to kill, but after playing the BO7 beta and seeing the time to kill in that game, it's not far off. Maybe a tad too quick, but nothing game altering. Doesn't feel like COD Ghost. If you ever played COD Ghost, that game's time to kill was insanely fast. And then when you add in the big ass maps that game had, it was just a complete disaster. So the time to kill in Black Ops 7 is pretty solid. The thing about Black Ops 7's gunplay, one thing I would admit is that the game feels more AR dominant. The TTK between ARs and SMG, at least from close range, it feels pretty much the same. And then just a huge drop off from SMGs when it comes to long range compared to ARs. The one SMG, in my opinion, that I feel like can actually compete long range at least is the Draven 45. Because that gun just feels similar to the M15 mod, which is one of the starting assault rifles in the game. But yeah, it wasn't too bad, just a slight tweak in my opinion. It definitely wasn't throwing off the gun balancing that much. There was still a lot of variety when I was playing the game. So yeah, maybe if it's possible to buff a bit of the damage for long range for SMGs so we can see more variety of those guns, that would be pretty nice. And since we're on the topic of gunplay, let's talk about the actual guns in the game. By far, in my personal opinion, the M8 by far the most deadliest weapon in the game. It also stays true to the BO2 M8, where you can still get off 1 burst kills, most of the time 2 bursts. But in general, it's just a very strong weapon to use. And it's great in both short and long range. With the Peacekeeper, I'm glad they brought back the Peacekeeper, but at the same time, I'm kind of disappointed with the gun itself. I don't know about you guys, but you can't run the Peacekeeper without a grip. That gun has way too much kick whenever you're firing your weapon, bro. I found myself dying so many times using the Peacekeeper because virtually every other weapon besides the Peacekeeper basically had no recoil. So whenever you're trying to challenge someone from far range with the Peacekeeper, you're almost at a disadvantage. Pretty much at a disadvantage. You almost have no chance in competing with someone with like an M15 or an M8. But with grip on, it's decent in my opinion. The MXR, which is like the SCAR variant, if I were to compare that weapon to every other SCAR that we gotten in Call of Duty, it's probably the worst SCAR that we had, because just the rate of fire is just too slow in my opinion. Even though it hits hard, but I feel like you really got to hit your shots with that gun for it to be a disgusting weapon. And if your connection's real bad, just forget about it, because I've ran across quite a bit of connectivity issues in my games, and while I was using the SCAR, it was just a nightmare. I'm not gonna lie to you. So I'm not gonna say the gun's bad, but I'm not gonna say the gun is shredding people. M15, that gun in my opinion can compete with the M8 from short, medium, and long distance. But yeah, very solid all around AR. Have really no complaints with that weapon. I can see a lot of people rocking the M15 when the game launches, or at least when the open beta drops. And then the Raiden 45, which is one of the SMGs, high firing rate SMG, which really does shred close range. Pretty good medium range. Of course, long range, it's non-existent, even though you can technically kill from long range if you can really control your recoil with that weapon. But yeah. But yeah, the shotguns, I haven't seen a lot of players using shotguns, but from the times I got killed by the shotguns, I think there's one that resembles the R870, basically the Remington from Black Ops 2. Very dumbed down Remington, definitely not as overpowered. Kind of feels like the one from Black Ops 3 actually. The other shotgun I haven't seen. Snipers feel the same compared to all the other Black Ops games, depending how you want to judge them, whether they're still overpowered or underpowered. I think they're fine. I haven't came across any bullshit deaths. But that Gravedigger score streak, bro, that sniper, let me tell you, I don't know who thought that was a great idea to put into a game, a sniper that can shoot through pretty much any wall and basically see any person running around the map. Ridiculous. It's some BS that should never be in the game. Like, why have that in a game based in 2035 while in BO3 never had any such thing like that, and that game is based in 2065? Like, anything they'll do to trigger the community even more, and for what? Even though I've only came across it a few times, I can sense that becoming an issue in game down the road. Like, can you just imagine you're on a high kill streak, like you're a couple kills off a nuke, and then someone calls in a Gravedigger and you just get clapped across the map? And there's literally nothing you can do to defend yourself with that score streak. If you're lined up with that, you're cooked, you're done. So yeah, I don't know if they're gonna nerf that score streak, they're gonna raise the score to get that score streak. I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't even know how much people are complaining about that score streak in general. There's no way people would be wanting that in the game. That's just broken. Come on. Alright, let's talk about the maps. The maps, let's just get this out of the way. Exposure. Probably the worst map in the beta by far, in my personal opinion. Especially if you're playing that game mode Overload, which is what I think it's like Uplink from Black Ops 3. In the map Exposure, that map, it's already bad enough that the spawns are horrible. There's too much open space in both back spawns of that map. It makes it so easy for the team to just spawn trap you when you're playing Overload. Maybe if you're someone that likes demolition, you probably enjoy the, you know, control the spawns, which you pretty much can do, because every map that I play on, when it came to playing on Overload, you're basically just spawning in the same spot every time. You're not spawning mid-map, you're not getting any revenge spawn, you're always spawning in the same spot. I don't know if that was intentional or that was just a mistake, but the fact that I was just getting spawn trapped so easily while playing Overload was horrible. And especially on that map Exposure, whether you're trying to flank left, run down mid, flank right, there's gonna be at least one player just pre-aiming long, and just overall just no decent flow no matter where you go around the map. Cortex though, it's probably the best map in my opinion. It's fun to play on in both hardpoint and code confirm. Even TDM, I played a bit of TDM, is pretty good. It has solid map flow, whether you're trying to flank right, mid, or left side. Pretty much non-stop action no matter where you go. Colors are pretty vibrant too, and you can pretty much use any gun in that map. I don't feel like there's any restrictions. The Forge is a decent map. Plays good in TDM, KC. It plays good in TDM or kill confirmed. Has a good amount of flanking routes. They have pretty nice wall jump spots that you can tackle through. And so you can really take advantage of the wall jump movement while trying to navigate around that map. And then the last map, Imprint. They just added that map recently. And that map is pretty good as well, I'm not gonna lie. Same thing, pretty good map flow, decent routes. Can flank both sides, left, right. You can easily attack mid if you really want to. I can see quite a bit of gun variety in that map as well. I can see ARs dominating, SMGs dominating, shotties, LMGs, everything. And so it's pretty decently sized. And yeah, pretty much all 4 maps so far in the beta, they're actually not that bad for maps. Usually people complain about the maps that COD's been making over the past couple years. But yeah, 4 maps are pretty solid, and you have another 12 coming into the game when it comes out. I don't know, I'm probably gonna be nice. I sense some optimism, but who knows? The 4 maps that they dropped, probably the 4 best maps in the game. You never know. And for zombies, they dropped the zombies beta, which is the first time ever in a Call of Duty beta. When I heard of it, I didn't even know that was a thing. I thought they were joking, but they actually dropped a zombie beta. One of the maps that they dropped is the farm remake from Black Ops 2, and I was like, shit, let me go try this out, bro. But honestly, like, it was fun in the beginning, but you know, if you play Black Ops 6 Zombies, you have the option to, you know, spawn in with any weapon that you want. You can pretty much buy every perk in the game through the Wonder Fizz machine. It basically feels like Black Ops 6 Zombies, and depending on how you feel about Black Ops 6 Zombies, you can say Black Ops Zombies is too boring because it's so easy, it's so easily accessible to get your perks, start with any weapon, or that it's the same as Black Ops 6 Zombies, so why even care or bother to play BO7 Zombies? And I'm not gonna lie, like literally the first game I played on the new farm map, I literally reached round 50. It was just too easy. At this point in Zombies, we have too much perks, abilities. There's too much accessibility for us to like get high rounds in Zombies, which is cool and all. I mean, I don't mind, but it stems from the challenge of getting high rounds in Zombies. And yet it takes 3 hits to get down in Zombies without Jug. If you have Jug, it takes 5 hits. Back then in BO2, 2 hits and you're done. And with Jug, I think it's 3 hits. And so, yeah, you can argue. People would say Black Ops 7 Zombies is too easy, or it's just the same like Black Ops 6. I don't know. You guys can be the judge, but me personally, I just find it too easy. Too easy enough that it gets pretty boring, especially if you hit past round 30. It just becomes real redundant at that point. And then exceeding past round 40, I feel like my brain's melting. Like, I just don't want to keep playing, but yeah, they should just make Zombies for this year's game a bit more challenging. At least deduct how many hits you take from Zombies. Instead of 3 hits without Jug, make it 2. Or you can keep it at 3, but at least if you have Jug, instead of 5 hits, make it 4. If you play Zombies, you know how easy it is to get a high round. But yeah, that's everything for the Black Ops 7 beta for multiplayer and Zombies for the past 3 days. Yeah, it's pretty decent experience. Looking forward to play the last couple days of the beta, see if they make some tweaks in the next couple days. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. And yeah, thanks for watching. Peace.